Giants in San Francisco have an area for people who are allergic to peanuts.
Get out of here.
It's called Puto Cliff. Right? Down the right field line. Hello, everyone. Hola, mis amigos. You're listening to Oh My God, Hi, Hijo de Dios. Hola. With me, George Lopez. Porque, ¿sabes qué? Let's do the show. Porque I got a lot of things to do. I gotta go to that dry cleaner ahí. My kid fell. Se pegó la cabeza. I gotta go get some Neosporin Paul.
You know what George is?
Oh, I'm sure he's around here somewhere.
What's his name?
George Lopez. George Lopez.
Oh my God.
OMG.
OMG. Hi.
Oh my God. Hi.
Thanks to our sponsor, Medterra. They craft trusted, effective, and accessible CBD products that support deeper sleep, relaxation, and relief.
That's right. Go to Medterra, and it's medterra.com/OMG High and enter the code OMGHI at checkout for 30% off and free shipping with your first order of Medterra.
Guys, it's all about confidence. When it's time for sex, am I right?
Yep.
Sometimes stress can affect your performance and ruin the fun. Blue Chew comes to the rescue.
Try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code OMGHI at checkout and just pay $5 shipping. That's bluechew.com, promo code OMGHI to receive your first month free. Imagine that Wessels come your way for just $5 shipping.
Hey, I'm in.
Blue Chewable makes you doable. Get a Blue Chew and then, and the doors to Panocha Town open wide up. A lot of Latinos in Chicago.
Yeah, they do. I found them.
They do well out there, man. They got their own individual neighborhood. I went over. I took Mayan to go eat over there on Pilsner, I think maybe Street, and we had some carne asada with some French fries, all kinds of guacamole, taco, all kind of stuff. Fucking doing shots in the afternoon over there with the.
You're tugging in my heart now, brother. When you're talking
man,
tacos, guacamole, papas, and shots.
Oh, carne asada, flank huge steak with fries, like In-N-Out fries. Oh man, come on.
Hey, while we're on Chicago, let me give you a shout out. When I went back there a couple of weeks ago to do that fundraiser, help them with a fundraiser back there.
Yeah,
that was there to help out wounded veterans and to assist surviving family members of cops killed in the line of duty. And these guys don't care where the cops are killed. I just want to say that they sent 2 cops out here just a couple of weeks ago for the 2 officers from El Monte that were murdered, that were killed in the line of duty. That was Officer Paredes and Santana that were killed in the line of duty. And Chicago sent 2 guys, Rick Caballero, the guy that heads up the organization, sent him out here just to be there at the funeral, just to give the family some money. So everything they're doing back there is a great job.
man, that's
I can't
pretty
say
amazing.
enough about them. Yeah. And the guys come out here, they take their own time off. They're on duty. They're regular working cops. They send 2 sergeants out here. They take their own time. The organization fronts their fees to fly them out. But what a great job. And they do it for all over the United States. Another shout out to Chicago PD.
Being that I've been away for a few months, I'm not familiar with what happened with those 2 officers. What happened?
It was on June 18th. They responded to a call of a man with a knife, and when they got there, it was an ambush. The guy was inside. He was on probation. He should have been in custody, but under the current regime, the way it was, he was out, and he was waiting for him. They got there, and he opened up with a gun just as they got there, and so he got killed. But most importantly, he killed 2 working cops that grew up in El Monte. All they wanted to be were El Monte cops so they could give back to their community. And they died in the line of duty.
And And who was that guy that shot him? Like was he in a house or was he in an apartment or?
He was in a hotel room. And when they got to the place, he just opened up the door and started lighting them up. And these guys, the whole community, the city of Almonte, did a great job. They came together. They've got a great association there with their cops and the way they work with their community. And these guys truly grew up there and wanted to be where they were. And it just shows, when everybody's talking about, defunding police, these guys were willing to put their lives on the line for the people they serve. And that's what they did.
I mean, there's been so much violence over the last few years, so many unnecessary deaths, police officers included, anybody that dies on the line of duty or anybody really, it's such a, what do they say? I mean, there isn't a better way that we found to police. It doesn't work private. I mean, it's just, I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know what the answer is. There's
I don't have an answer either.
There's for anybody to want to be in law enforcement, especially the way the times are, it's just, I don't know, man. I mean, it's such a huge thing, and I think the unfortunate of the tragedy that involves police officers definitely would gather more attention than a couple of police officers losing their lives in the line of duty and being from a neighborhood that they wanted to patrol. Not all, police officers and not all police departments and not all officers are, I don't think they're against their community, man. It's just such a clusterfuck of what we've become as a society.
Yeah, it is.
There's still the ones that you call, but it's just in an unimaginable position to be in.
It is. It is, and you could see by talking about those guys. I just been with guys from Almonte Police Department at the 100-year anniversary of Homicide Bureau, and in fact, I was sitting at the right table, the right place. They announced pick up your plate on your table, and if there's a coin underneath, and I just happened to be sitting at the table, there was that coin. It was a challenge coin from the city of Almonte. And then they gave me a nice bottle of scotch, and everybody wanted to take pictures. It was really nice. And then to see these guys, it really, as you could see, it affected me emotionally.
Yeah.
What these kids do, and people just don't understand it. Now they're good. Now let's talk about something fucking funny. Let's get it rolling, bro.
Well, let's talk about, I mean, listen, it's been 42 years since the All-Star game has been in Los Angeles.
Yes.
I think it was supposed to be here in 20, and then we had the pandemic. And in that time of us growing up, the Dodgers were owned by a family.
O'Malley's.
The O'Malley's.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, sir.
So, the Dodgers are not without their I don't know what to say. They're not without their issues, but going to the games when Fox, I didn't go when they were sold to Fox or Frank McCord. I think that guy Frank McCord. I didn't go to the I didn't go to the games for a long time. And it was around that time that guy was the owner. And I think that think that he may even still own the parking lot.
He does. He just got. He's trying to get his Wesso in there. He wants to put a tram, overhead tram, I think from the train station up to. So he still has it. He still has his hands in there. And I was a season ticket holder when he took over. And because he kept driving the prices up, and I just couldn't afford it. I just couldn't afford it anymore. I was paying. I'd had the ticket so long, and then I had my last ticket for right behind home plate, aisle 4. They were great seats, row R. And when I started with them, they were $50 a piece, and they went up to $75 a piece for a while. And then we got notified they're going to go to $125 a piece. I'm in with 4 guys. So every time you got 4 seats, I mean, I'm not J. Paul Getty. I'm not George Lopez. I ain't got that kind of money. So I said, hey, we tried a kid. I gave him up, only to find out that he was borrowing money. That's why we weren't getting any players. He was borrowing money from the Dodgers for his own personal use to buy up more property.
Yeah.
And so I said, John, I can't do that.
It's definitely it's almost like the royal family. I think, if you're a baseball fan in Los Angeles, it would be like following Buckingham Palace. I mean, to see Dodger Stadium change in the way that, I remember when chingazos were rare at Dodger Stadium, and they sold Schlitz beer, and they sold 32-ounce fucking beers, and the dudes would stack their fucking beers on top in empty cups. The more they drank, and they fucking have stacks of beers. But there wasn't really violence at Dodger Stadium.
No, the only thing that went up, it was printed in the Times at one time during the O'Malley regime when Fernando Mania took over. CHP announced they made more drunk driving arrests from Fernando pitch than any other time in the game.
Yeah.
So the Latinos went out for him, and unfortunately they drank too much. It was a great time.
I went to I saw Fernando pitch a lot. Opening day when he shut out when he won the first set, then Jerry Royce was sick, and then he pitched, and then we were all baboso. We took a day off work, and by the time we got out of the parking lot, we had sobered up. I mean, we were fucking in the line 2 hours trying to get down to Elysian Park, and by the time you got there, you're like already coherent again, because you're not going anywhere. Just maybe the biggest parking lot of any major league stadium, or maybe any stadium. I mean, that parking lot it's
big.
It's big. And then Will Call was all the way down at I didn't even know what Will Call was back then.
Yeah.
All of the, should Fernando's number be retired? Yes.
Yes.
Should Fernando be in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah. Undoubtedly. Sure.
Should there be a campaign from the Dodgers? Yes. Is there? No.
Mm-hmm.
So, he's an announcer for Spanish language, for him and Jaime Harin, I think is still there, or maybe Jaime
just retired.
He just retired. I mean, to have Vin Scully and Jaime Harin for 50 years plus in Los Angeles and listen to them growing up is, there's always been great, and Ernie Harwell in Detroit, and then the guy Razul, all those guys in back east. But we had
Chicago.
Harry Carey.
Yeah.
I mean, and we had those guys forever. So, I would like to see the Dodgers be a little better to Fernando than they've been. I don't think they're really even retiring any numbers anymore. Nor do I feel like they are. They don't have old timers game anymore.
No.
This week is All-Star Week in Los Angeles. I got invited to play in the game, the Hollywood Stars game, maybe, but I can't do it because I'm still going to be here. But I wanted to. I played in 2004. I loved it. The idea of sitting in left field pavilion and right field pavilion sometimes, and then seeing Willie Davis in center field, and Jimmy Wynn and Mike Marshall and Dusty Baker Willie Crawford, Greg Lazinski, Maddox, and the Phillies, all the great outfielders that I got to see.
Sure.
And to be playing outfield, I played center field. Caught a ball, hit the center field. Awesome. It was the last year they did baseball. Now it's softball. But the idea that you can't get a Dodger dog at Dodger Stadium anymore because they couldn't
Change the name.
They couldn't work out the deal with Farmer John. I think Farmer John's even closing.
Farmer John is closing down. They're moving out of Vernon.
Because
I want to say the Asians bought them out.
Yeah, I mean, man, I'm sure there are things that are better than the Dodger dog, but
hey, and then listen to this. I don't know if you followed the news lately. Right now, the big controversy is the concession workers they've announced they may go on strike for the All-Star game.
Well, that's where I'm going, ain't that? That's where I'm going.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
just taking it. I'm taking it. You don't have to fucking fill an hour. I got fucking, want to just put it in and fucking take it out? We'll be done in 20 minutes. Fucking let's do it. I mean, I'm going there.
Let me have another sip of wine. I'm drinking for both of us since you're not drinking today.
Man, I got fucking mosquitoes in here. I got to try to find and kill. So far, I'm only killing myself with the spray that I'm using. But it's bad in this room.
Oh, now you sound like my wife.
Man, I've been getting fucking bit every night. I'm ready to start lighting fucking napkins on fire. My grandma used to do that shit. Those are fucking lit fucking brownies under the sink. All fucking cucarachas would run out. Fireworks when you're dealing with insects. They don't like fire. And you can just see the cucarachas, their antennas, just melt. There you go, motherfucker. So, whatever the concessions were, I remember they used to say Arthur. I thought everybody's name was Arthur. When I was a kid, I thought is everybody's name Arthur? I thought everybody's name was Arthur. And Arthur was the company.
I didn't even remember all this shit.
That's but I don't know what they have at for hot dogs now. I haven't been. But I think you can buy a Dodger dog and put it together yourself somewhere in LA.
Shit, they're selling Dodger dog. I go to Stater Brothers.
Yeah.
They're selling wieners and right in their meat section, loose, and their original Farmer John Dodger dog. That's what they're calling them, Dodger dog.
We'll go over there and then you'll eat one and you'll run around like uniform, and then I'll run around to make it look like we're fucking watching baseball.
I'll look like Tommy Lasorda running around.
But when the Dodgers had those wheels that you would turn and the onions would come out.
Oh yeah.
And then the wheel that you would turn and relish would come out. And then they had the big tubs of mustard and ketchup and.
Oh, don't tell me you put ketchup on your hot dog, brother.
No, I don't. No, fuck that.
Oh, okay.
But when they took that away, and then you started getting like what you get now, a couple of packs of ketchup, a couple of packs of mustard, a fucking little chingadera of one of these of onions.
Yeah.
And I don't know where that stadium is going, but the concession people striking, I'm not for strikes, but I can see them with the purpose of striking. Especially, I thought that dude Roger, the peanut guy, I thought that vato died.
Oh, he's still there, and then they just announced last week they stopped him from throwing the peanuts. That guy had it going for years. He's done it like for 48 years already.
And why don't they want Roger throwing peanuts?
They didn't say. There was no statement as to why. He just said, they told me to stop. And the Dodgers didn't have a statement as to why.
Because somebody's going to get hurt? because somebody has a peanut allergy? I think so. Giants in San Francisco have an area for people who are allergic to peanuts.
Get out of here.
It's called Puto Cliff. Right down the right field line. I mean, what are we going to do, man? You can't go to a game because somebody might be allergic to peanuts near you, and then you're cracking them and you put them on the ground. And sure, yeah, it's airborne. It can get in there. And then nobody can touch the spoon, the same spoon that you used to get relish with, the crank. Listen, man, if anybody that used those things past the 5th inning is still alive, you go to the bathroom, you wouldn't wash your hands down with a fucking crank. I mean, just listen, man, I'm not sure if being hygienically safe is the best way to live healthy. I think you have to have some fucking mugre on you in order to make your body work. Your body's built for shit to fight off things.
That's it.
And hand sanitizer does not work on your pito. I put some on my. You know, you try to take a whore bath. You got to take a whore bath the old-fashioned way. You can't put any Perel on your huevos.
Hey, it dries it up.
It dries them up. I mean, they're like the little dulces that come wrapped up individually. Wexlers, what they call them. But yeah, man, I think, you know, when you used to go to baseball games or go to sporting events, you didn't see the business part of it. You saw the game.
Yes.
And I think now I think the Dodger concession people, I don't know what they're asking for, but I'm going to say they probably deserve it because there's been player strikes. They shut down baseball for half a year. They shut down hockey. I think they did it with football. They replaced some players. But the people that work at the stadium, I would probably say that maybe they're not taken care of as properly as they should.
Maybe it's their time. And, you know, who are they going to replace them with? Other Latinos?
No.
Yeah. What are they?
And then you would see the same ushers and you would say the same people, and they became almost like they knew where you sat. I mean, when you
exactly, you were friends. I had season tickets. They knew you. It was all friends. Yeah. I could go when I had before I had my last ones. I had some down first baseline. I was in row W then, and I could get up after the last pitch of the inning, go order me 4 beers, go to the head, pick them up on the way back, and still get back before the next inning started, because we were friends with everybody. Everybody knew each other. Matter of fact, one time we were right under the overhang on the first base side. It started drizzling, so everybody started coming out of the front, going back, and there was a doctor that owned 4 seats right in front of us, and he's sitting there, and he's not there that day. His 4 seats were vacant. He didn't show to the game. 2 guys came up and they're looking and said, "Come on, let's sit here." He said, "No, man, these aren't our seats. What if they come by?" He says, "Just shut up, sit down, take a seat." And so they sit down. And half inning later, 2 guys come up and they pulled out their tickets and said, "Excuse me, you're sitting in our seats." And I said, "Oh, we're sorry. We just want to get out of the rain." "Okay, here you go." They got up and they walked away. And this guy sat down and he said, "See, I told you it'd work." They weren't their seats either.
Oh, no shit. Oh, my God.
True story. True story.
That's awesome. Yeah, everybody that's sitting in someone's seat has been Latino, man. And you know, because you see somebody walking down, you're like, all right, get ready. And it wasn't them. But yeah, everybody has snuck down to get in a better place.
I remember one time they were taking out some a fan that was all bubble, so he was drunk and he was causing trouble. So they're taking him out, and all the crowd is around him. "Hey, take him out, get him out of here." Here comes security, and they handcuff him and they're taking him out. And some of the Chicanos start saying, No, they're on cutbacks right now. They're not going to let him in the jail. Leave him here, screaming. It's a crazy place. I love it. I have not had one bad experience at Dodger Stadium.
I hope that whatever it is, because I mean, if you're going to strike, this is the week to do it. I mean, all the attention
Sure
is on Dodger Stadium, and the subtlety of the remodeling that they've done. They've done a lot of remodeling, man.
It's been good. It's good.
A handful of years ago, they removed the field level and then worked on the locker rooms and worked on that stuff underneath. Mm-hmm. And I went into the visitors' locker room, and you see the modern day locker room, which is amazing. And then in the corner, they had kept some of the old visitors' locker there. And it was like if you were at Farmer John killing pigs, like the fucking stall was little.
Yeah.
Had that chicken wire kind of type, and just really nothing, man. It's amazing to think what the athletes used to do and never complained that the locker room wasn't the way it is now, with reclining chairs and big screen TVs and opulence and state of the art. I mean, in every stadium, because I've seen the Dodgers do it, that a Dodger who's playing, who's not necessarily up in that inning, will go down that hall, and then there's a room that has a computer, and then you're in there with a coach, and you can go over what that guy has thrown you from seasons past or from games past. Mm-hmm. So the guy's playing in the game, but he's not sitting in the dugout, but he's in that room looking at pitches from a pitcher that's out there pitching from other games. I mean, yeah. When I was in high school, we had a guy named Mike Robinson, a white dude that came from Kennedy High School. And that dude had a book. Like, he would say, who's pitching? And he would look, and he'd take out his book, and he had a pen, and he had a book of all the pitchers that he faced in high school, what they threw him, and what he hit. I mean, fucking amazing.
Sure.
That a high school player had that.
Medterra was founded by a group of friends passionate about bringing CBD to those who love it most. If you haven't heard of CBD, it can promote relaxation, sleep, and a slew of other benefits. Topicals like hemp-infused Manuka cream and on-the-go pain relief roll-on help you balance your skin and body and mind. Tasty sweets like their full-spectrum deep sleep gummies support your journey in finding deep, restorative sleep that leads to a rejuvenated day. Modern life is so busy that we often put your recovery and rest last because there just isn't enough time.
Medterra has designed high-quality, accessible, and easy-to-incorporate wellness solutions, like their Manuka cream and pain relief roll-on to support daily wellness. It's not being looked at even like you're a full-on marijuana anymore. This is all like medicine. Before they'd be like, hey, pichi marijuana. Now everybody's doing it because it's medicine. Full spectrum deep sleep gummies are a sweet and simple way to fall asleep faster, stay asleep longer, and wake up feeling refreshed. And who knows, you might wake up with knock out 2 for 1, and then go back to sleep. It's funny, man, because we have stigmas of what CBD and all those things are, and I think that in growing up the way that we grew up, we were more about the pill, like, hey, did the doctor give you some pills? You take your pills and do all that. But pills, we found out that are not the best now. We're going back to the way that the way the earth provides, and I think sleeping with those CBDs and using roll-ons and all the stuff that they use for wellness. I mean, I think you feel it though, right? When you use stuff like that, you benefit from that, don't you?
I sure do. I sure do. Yeah. And I don't wake up like I do after I've been drinking wine all night.
That's right. You see, so it's all around better. Our products are third-party tested. So it's like 2 dudes go, hey, give that dude some. Non-GMO, contains organic ingredients and grain-free. I wish my grandma was still alive. I'd be loading her up with this stuff. I should be giving me kisses on the mouth. Thing.
Oh my God. Hi, listeners. Get 30% off and free shipping on their order to Medterra.
Go to medterra.com/OMGHI and enter the code OMGHI at checkout. That's Medterra. That's Medterra. You know, the thing that's messed up is so many words in our life that we use around it. Mierda la verga. That's medterra.com/OMGHI and enter the code OMGHI at checkout and receive 30% off and free shipping. Sleep 30% better, get 30% off, and be 30% better prepared to take on the new day.
Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in chewable form and at a fraction of the cost. Blue Chew's tablets help men achieve harder, stronger erection. Men combat all forms of ED. Because Blue Chew is an online prescription service, there are no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. And it ships right to your door in a discreet package.
The process is simple. Sign up at bluechew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. The best part is that it's all done online. Blue Chew's licensed medical providers work with you to find the right ingredient and strength for your prescription. Don't like swallowing pills? No problem here. Blue Chew's tablets are chewable, just like the skin right under your wells. Blue Chew tablets are made in the USA and they prepare and ship direct, so it's cheaper than a pharmacy. Blue Chewable makes you doable. Try Blue Chew free when you use the promo code OMGHI at checkout and just pay $5 shipping. That's bluechew.com, promo code OMGHI to receive your first month free.
And my bad, because I'm not George Lopez. I don't have the memory that you do. A few years ago, because the guy, a friend of mine, he took care of the visitors' locker room. That was his job. He was in charge of it. He did everything, got him food, made everything. And he was into this true crime stuff like you.
Yeah.
And so he became friends, and he graduated from the same high school that I went to. And so he wanted to give me a tour. And so he gave me a tour of the whole state. I got to go into the locker room with all the guys. It was awesome. But then he said, you know what? Bring your kid back here. It was my grandson. I want to say he was 16 years old then, 17 years old. He says, bring him back here the last day. The last game was when the Dodgers jumped in the swimming pool over in Arizona. Okay, so they clinched the West. They came back here for their last series. It was against the Rockies. And the first baseman that was going to be, he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. His name slipped me and I apologize to him. He was on the team, and that guy had my grandson put him in a Rockies uniform and let him be the bat boy for the day. And he went out there, he took pictures with the guys. He says it was the best day of his life. He's now 22. And he still remembers the catcher, who was a Latino, was getting ready to go out in the on-deck circle. My grandson's in the well. The Latino hit him. He grounded out the first time up. He went out there. This time he hit my grandson in the head with a bat intentionally, just tapped him.
Yeah.
Went out there. He got a base hit. Come back next time up. He says, hey, it worked the first time. Bam, hit him again. And my grandson just had the time of his life out there.
Yeah.
For that day. It was good stuff.
I think that, in being a baseball fan, I mean, you don't want to see it tainted by big money or by not treating the people that really. I mean, we're in a time now where you're trying to take things away from people, not give them things. So, all of the concession workers and all of the people that are there early and stay late, and somebody's got to clean that shit up. And I think, it's all about the bottom line, man. In a business run by billionaires, that the people that provide for your fans and for your players should be taken care of. And saying that, we don't take care of teachers. Why anybody would want to be a teacher? I'd rather be fucking Roger throwing peanuts at Dodger Stadium than to be a teacher, because they don't make any money. They never have.
And parents blame them for everything.
For everything. I've had to see teachers buy pencils and paper and balls and things for their class out of their own pocket.
Sure.
And I thought that money for the lottery was going to go to help the schools. It hasn't. So
I've seen the same thing. So between teachers, everything we do in life today as adults, we owe to teachers. They started us out. And when I was growing up, you screwed up in school, parents beat the shit out of me. And, it's my fault. But we blaming those teachers, cabrón, I know. And today, people are quick to blame the teachers. It's their fault. Then it goes into from the teachers and the adults, the cops. And you know what? Don't blame us for what you couldn't control, when he was a kid. You had the ability to train them, to teach them, and you didn't. And now you blame somebody else for their faults. And they're underpaid. They don't get enough money to their supplies. They take nothing but grief. God bless them and nurses. I love them.
What about those guys that that's touchy. What about the cop at Parkland in Florida that waited outside and didn't go in there? Like, what's the duty of the officer?
The latest biggest one is the one that was where all those kids died. The cops waited outside, and the chief of police the chief of school police, or whoever gave the order, is taking a bunch of shit. I'm not one to kick a man when he's down, but as he should. I still stay very close in tune and in touch with local law enforcement. And one of my partners that comes by, who works with local station where I live, he comes by and visits. And I said, hey, what about this? Because that's not wrong. We are trained here, rest assured, just like those cops that died from Almani. If it's an active shooter, we are trained to go in now. Don't wait for backup. Don't do shit. You go in there now. Your family may miss you. That's what you've been trained for. You're there for others. And I'm sorry. The guy that said don't go in there, wait for backup, he's wrong. He's just wrong. And there were other cops that wanted to go in there. One guy defied the orders. I understand, defied and went in on his own and finally broke into the stuff. But it's terrible. It's tragic. Never should have happened. Never should have happened. They should have stopped that guy. A cop may have lost his life, but we would have saved others.
And don't they lock the door? Aren't they supposed to lock the doors when kids, like, I haven't been around school in forever, but I think that they would lock most of the doors around the school, so you had to go into one way.
Yeah, I don't know what school policies are now, and since that incident, I've seen on the internet where other schools, especially back in Texas, where they're allowing teachers to pack a gun. Now people would sit there and say, well, that's too dangerous. There's kids around. What if somebody gets hurt? Well, would I want somebody packing a gun to save my kid's life? Yeah, I would. There ain't no doubt about it. Yes, anything that's going to save lives is going to help. Tragically, is somebody going to lose their life? Maybe this guy isn't trained well enough and he accidentally should. That could happen. That can, but I'd much rather see him have an accident than let a guy go in there and massacre 17 kids.
Hey, how like if you look at people that have multiple guns or ARs and all that stuff, police don't. They have a shotgun. They have like a pump shotgun, right, and a Glock. They don't come out there with assault weapons.
We now have. They do have shotguns. They do have guns that pump out, not the real bullets, but rubber bullets. They do have ARs, but they don't have them in all the cars. The sergeant may have one in his car, and I told, because even when I was working, I had a officer involved shooting down in the city of Hawthorne where the guy was pointing a gun, and there had to be at least 20 cops because there's been a pursuit. He had been shooting pointing the gun up and up at the helicopter, and the guy went around the corner and the helicopter said, "Hey, beware. He's out of his car. He's around the corner now." And they all went up, and the guy turned around and pointed the gun at him. About 20 cops lit him up. And the man in charge, the commander from my department, knew that I'm a seasoned guy. He wanted to talk to me. He says, "Man, I'm just glad they didn't have an AR-15 out here. 20 guys lit the guy up." He says, "I'm just glad they didn't have an AR-15. And I said, "He's lucky they didn't have a machine gun."
Right.
I said, "I don't have to depend on somebody else to shoot him. This guy's pointing a gun. Who do I trust? That guy may shoot me." And he was trying to kill cops. And so they did what they had to do. I don't care about safety. Right now, you're talking about life. And when it's life and death, because I've been not only in the streets, I've been in combat. You can't panic. You have to react.
In the Northridge, the shooting of the Bank of America in North Hollywood,
the Hollywood shootout, yeah.
The police officers went to a gun store to buy shit that they didn't have because they were outgunned.
They were,
yeah. And those bullets go through cars, don't they? I mean,
yeah, they go through cars, and if you look at that, the way it ended up, some of those officers in the end, God bless LAPD, SWAT, those guys, some of them weren't in uniform. They were in street clothes. They responded, they attacked. They didn't have vests on. They just knew what they had to do. They're trained. They got out there and they put an ending to it. But yeah, you do whatever you got to do. And people don't realize that. And they only think about, that's why, unfortunately, the Almani officers lost their life. It wasn't because they didn't have the proper weaponry or anything. It was just a tragedy. But it made local people realize that, yeah, there is a need for law enforcement. Who else is going to stop this animal? Who else was going to do anything? When people run away from a gunfire, cops run into it. Right. And so they deserve to get what they want. They're trained, and hopefully they'll survive.
I think some of those guns have like red tips and stuff like that. I'm not sure if the way shit is now that they shouldn't even be selling any fucking guns to kids even anymore. I just don't see a reason why. I mean, they had a situation where police pulled guns on a 12-year-old kid, but it's like, it's all tragic, but also the temperature is fucking high for that shit, man. Like, kids that are 12 don't look 12. I'm not defending anything, but when you're driving a car and you see or hear somebody and then you see something, you have to make the decision immediately. And I would just, if I was 12 or a kid, I don't think I'd be playing with guns in public.
It's up. It truly is. And parents, once again, it comes back to the parents. You gotta control your kids. I know my compadre called me up one day and he was crying on the phone because I was at home. He was just calling to see if I was all right. A cop in East LA had just been killed in the line of it. He had just been shot. So he's calling up my house. He heard my voice and he started crying. And he says, "I want you to know, I'd rather go visit you in prison than have to go to your gravesite." And that was very meaningful to me because this was a tough dude he was a tough guy. Yeah. And I said, it's okay. Hopefully you'll never have to go visit me in prison, but it's a split-second decision some of these guys have to make. Some can do it. Some panic and don't. Some mess up. I've been shot at, as I explained. I've been shot at by cops on duty. And that guy ended up getting fired. God, fortunately, through the grace of God, nobody got hit.
Right.
But he was shooting at me. And so he could never be a cop again. So he got fired and went off into the sunset. But nobody was hit.
They even tried to use like private security firms. That doesn't work either because they're more aggressive than the police officers.
They don't have the proper training and they don't have the skills up in the mental capability. They get angry. They couldn't be a real cop. So then they got a security job. And sometimes they think that's the real world and it isn't. And they're going to have problems right now. They're having problems locally in LA with, they just got a new city councilwoman that got on the board. She wants to get rid of all LAPD. And they want to socialize the train. The transients are using, the homeless are using the trains and they're defecating on the trains or sleeping on the trains. So how do you get on there and want to use it as a mode of transportation when you're just going to work? You can't. And they want to use civilians. And do you think these guys give two shits about civilians? No, they don't. So they're trying to socialize everything and it just ain't going to work. Not right now, none of the current climate.
It's funny because, in the pandemic, like nobody was out. But then now we're seeing the result of the homeless people that are out there, the crime that's out there. And like we talked about before, about being safe, about going to get gas during the day or going to run your errands during the day and not doing them at night, not going to get gas at night, not going to get gas after work, of picking the time that you would be out there and trying not to be out there at night. I think it's very dangerous. I mean, look, Los Angeles is as dangerous as I think I've ever seen it be.
Just in the last couple of days, once again, I don't know what news you're getting, but they had the former Olympian. She was a Black female athlete. I forget what sport she played in, but she was a Black medal winner in downtown LA. Not
a
volleyball player. Yeah. Okay. And not in the I bet she did.
No, volleyball player no, because they get long legs and they lose something.
She was in downtown LA. Just got done having lunch over there in the nice area downtown, and some transient come up and for no reason, unprovoked, didn't say shit, just came up and started beating her. And she's on the TV giving her side of the story, her eyes shut, broken this, broken that, stitches, and just totally unprovoked. They got the guy in custody, but, is it safe? Right here by where I live, a couple of days ago, an Asian couple, in broad daylight, walking out of one of the 99 markets or some Asian market right here in Rolling Heights. That mother, him and his wife got jumped on, beat the shit, and they stole his watch and ay vámonos. And that was in broad daylight, 1:30 in the afternoon.
You ever been to one of those markets right there in Alhambra, the little Chinito markets?
No.
You could go in there and buy a fucking dolphin. They sell you anything in there. You could buy a fucking hawk. You could buy a fucking dolphin and a baby seal, whatever you want. But we bought a cow dick, that fucking thing. You're like, hey, if any animal has a dick that big, let them keep it. Like, fuck it. It's like, hey, man, we're sorry to bother you, sir.
Hey, let's stuff it and mount it.
I mean, they sell shit that they'll buy a fucking a lamb, either a vivo, tie it up. All right, just put this little thing over it. I'll be ready to go for any occasion. But I mean, they have shampoo different fragrances that you don't have in regular America. They just have different products. I don't know where they get those products at, but they get different smells than we do.
I've been into one Asian market right here by my house. I went in there once. I haven't gone back in there because all it smelled like was fish. There was everywhere you went in the place, you smelled the fish odor. And I not that it turns me on, but I want to smell something other than fish, in the market.
Yeah, it's It's a crazy time, man. Over here too. Just I don't know, man. Lawlessness, I think a little bit, and I'm not sure if it's a government problem. I think it has to be dealt with on the city level. Sure. I don't think it can be done. We wait for the government to do anything. I mean, it's got to be done. But if someone sees something happening, I would probably say it's better not to get involved.
Yes. I had a talk with my family last night because it happened locally. They have the local buzz on the internet, so people are watching this, and it made the news and it's on the internet all over the place. And they said, "Why didn't somebody help this couple? Why didn't somebody jump in there?" Well, they pistol whipped the poor old people. Now, you see somebody pistol whipping somebody, you're going to want to jump in there and say, hey, leave them alone. No, you got to become a good witness. That's all you can do. Because at this point, it's not up to you to put your life on the line for somebody you don't know. That's what cops get paid for.
Okay,
they put their lives on the line.
Let's say you come home and somebody's in your house. Okay? And when you walk in, maybe you walk in from your garage into your kitchen, and you look around and you're like, okay, that door's open, that door's closed. And let's say you have a gun in the kitchen, you have a gun. What rights do you have to protect your home at that time?
The bottom line, it's called a state of mind shooting. As long as you feel your life is in imminent danger, you have the right to do anything you want to protect yourself. Now, you don't have the right if you think, oh, some son of a bitch is in my house, now I'm going to go track that motherfucker down and shoot him. You can't do that. You have to be able to articulate whenever you talk to the cop, whenever you talk to anybody, as long as you feel that your life or the life of someone else is in imminent danger, you have the right to take action.
So if you come home and there's somebody in the other side of your house, do you go back into the garage, leave your house, call the police?
What I would definitely call the police right away before I'd go inside, because I don't know what he has. I don't know anything. Tactically, first thing I do is step back, be a good witness, let him get away out the back door and jump fences if he wants to. But I know by stepping back, I'm not going to lose my life. And I know the cops are going to be on their way. There's assistance. And George, something that I hadn't done in a long time, but I'm doing now on a regular basis. I'm packing everywhere now. I do. So if I come in my garage in my house, I'm packing, but I'm not going to take somebody on like that. Just like you said, I'd back out, be a good witness, call the cops, let them come down, let them take care. As long as nobody's.
But do you have a license to carry?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
What if you shoot somebody and you don't have a license to carry?
It's a misdemeanor to carry without a license. And if you take somebody's life, well, then all you have to do is worry about civil liability and not so much criminality. If you're justified in shooting them, whether you have a license or not. If you don't have a license to carry and you shoot somebody and kill them, and they were in the commission of a felony or they were about to kill you, you still have the right to self-defense. You were wrong for having a gun but that could be a misdemeanor charge.
But if you're driving around and you have a gun under your seat and somebody comes at you let's say you're pumping gas, and you turn around, there's a guy there and he looks like he's like, hey man, what's up? Hey, what's going on? And then he's like, you just see this and you say, let me have your wallet or whatever. And you go, let me get it. And now you grab your gun and maybe you have the wallet in this hand, and then can you fire on that dude?
If you think that that guy's about to harm you, it's in the commission of a robbery, which is a felony. If you think your life is in danger, yeah. Just start thinking, I thought the guy was going to kill me, whether I gave him my wallet or not. And I'm not advocating shooting everybody, but I'm saying as long as the key is the ability to articulate the fact that you thought your life was in danger.
But I think most people think that, like most fucking viejos like me, like, first of all, I can't run away. I might as well fucking just lay it out. But it's not like you're shooting somebody on a TV show. Like it's real life, I mean, you were in Vietnam. Real life, it's way fucking different, man.
Yeah. I didn't show, I told her about it. I didn't want her to see it. A friend of mine sent me a video, and it's a guy committing a robbery. I don't know if it's inside a business office or a bank. The guy's sitting down, all of a sudden, he gets up and he's armed, and there's a security guard there, which makes me think it's some kind of financial institution. And he runs right at the security guy, gun pointed at him, and he starts shooting. The security guard pulls a gun and shoots him, hits the guy, the suspect, right in the neck. Blood starts coming out like you turn the faucet on, chorros all over the place. And he's still shooting. He's still going. From the time he gets shot, I put my stopwatch on him. He runs after the security guard shooting at him. By now, the security guard said, oh, fuck. He drops his gun. He's ducking and get out of the way. And you can just see blood squirting out of this guy around 37 seconds from the time he got hit till the time he's down on the ground, no longer moving. And all that time, that's 37. So you think about how long 30, and that guy got hit in the carotid artery. How long, he broke an oil line and burnt up a valve.
He's still firing 37
but he
seconds.
Still had fired him. Yeah. So that's what you have to deal with. It's not like on TV. Some shots, headshots knock you down automatic. They put you down. Some shots will put you down, but it doesn't mean right here that was blood you're losing. That didn't put him down, but he only had about 30 seconds to live.
What about that MMA fighter Cain Velasquez that is in San Jose in jail because he had somebody in his family that was sexually abused by someone, and he chased a dude down, and I think he might have killed a dude, and he's in jail.
Yeah.
Can he go, is it murder?
Yeah, it is. It's not in the right. He's not defending himself. He's no longer saving somebody else. He has the right to stop him because that guy has committed a felony, and he has the right to stop him and hold him for cops. But depending on this, and I don't know any of the circumstances, but just to stop him and beat the dog shit out of him to where the fact now he's dead. Unfortunately, that's a murder that probably dropped down to a manslaughter.
Right. But you're going away.
Yeah.
Because even though it's it's deemed, you're for somebody, but it's just you're still breaking the law.
Yeah.
He chased the guy down. I think he shot at his car, might have hit him, killed him, and then But people have those shirts like free Cain. But no, he committed. I mean, they're not going to let him go. Like, hey, you were
reduce the crime,
admirable. You were trying to protect
a passion.
family.
Yeah, but it's still going to be at minimal a manslaughter. That's better than murder.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think by the time we meet again, I might actually be back. We might be back in the studio.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good. I can't wait to see you and be with you again.
But I think that COVID is still out there.
Yeah.
So I think people need to be safe again because I can't say too much, but allegedly there are some people around me that have had it, and I think we all need to be safe.
Tell me, I'll put my calzones around here as a mask if you want.
Right there. Hey, go to Dodger Stadium. Eat before you go. Finally, my grandparents are right. But I hope that everything gets resolved, and I hope that any worker wanting to stand up for his or her rights be heard. And everything's about the bottom line, but also you can't run a business without those people.
That's right. We need them.
And
somebody's leading. Somebody sharp time to bring it up. A week before the All-Star game. We talk about pressure. That'll do it.
let's see what happens because I mean, if you're gonna have close to 60,000 people in there, you can't have novices behind the counter trying to get you something to drink.
Not only that, they'll be ripping you off, brother.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, man. We did a more serious one today.
Yeah.
But that's all right. And I hope that next time we do this, we'll do it in person.
Oh, that is.
All right, Aaron. Aaron.
Oh yeah.
I'm almost done here, man. I think I'm done at the end of the week.
Well, happy to have you back.
All right, dudes.
All right. See you when you get back, George.
All right, right on.